Good evening, everybody. Good evening. The one good thing about being here tonight is that you're in the company of a lot of family. Plenty of F&Ms around here tonight. I feel at home. Philip Galanis is a guest. See, there's an F&M house. I used to be Assistant Secretary General of the F&M, so I plenty of y'all probably vote for me and all. But it's good to be here tonight. Again, to be with family. And it's interesting, of course, that we end up having to have an opportunity like this, but I think it's absolutely wonderful that we can have these kinds of discussions at the community level, and I do want to applaud Mr. Dion Folks and his team for staging such a wonderful community event. Let's give them a round of applause. On the 28th of January, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see this referendum being anything else except what that famous television show was called Law and Order. We can deal with the law and we can put it in order. That's what the 28th is about. The numbers business in the Bahamas is illegal.
Absolutely. No.
It is illegal. And this particular opportunity on our side presents the Bahamian people with a clear mandate. It's an opinion poll. Let's give the government our opinion. We don't believe that this industry could ever be the third economic pillar of this country. It simply can't. We have developed some reasons on our campaign side that we believe why Bahamians should reject the proposal to legalize an illegal business. Number one, we believe that these businesses violate our national values. In 1973, our founding fathers enshrined in our Constitution several things that this country and people who want to be successful should build their lives on. Number one, self-discipline. Number two, industry, loyalty, unity, and abiding respect for Christian values. And I like this last one. And the rule of law. The 28th of January is about law and order. Number two, it hurts the most vulnerable. Law should be passed to protect the vulnerable. And we've seen over the years that the laws of our country have truly not been respected. They've not. We believe that the gambling industry preys on the weak. And I believe a vote to legalize these institutions will be supporting taking further advantage of those who can least afford to participate. Number three, we believe that it produces social problems. Contrary to the lie that everybody wins, the truth, we believe, is that as a society, we all lose. Web shops add to social problems. We believe children suffer. We believe that mortgages and rent go unpaid. School fees fall behind. And sometimes there's no money to put food on the table. I believe domestic violence has some attributes to this industry because a lot of people sometimes end up trying to steal from one another to find monies to play. Many people affected sometimes end up being a burden even on our social service system. Melanie Griffin on television just maybe last night or the night before, laying the foundation already, you know. We need more money. They need more money already. We ain't even there on the 28th. They're laying the groundwork. Number four, we believe that it promotes a negative lifestyle. Numbers gambling encourages laziness. Trying to get money through luck instead of hard work. The Bahamas wasn't built on luck. It was built on work. Many people in this country who own businesses have worked hard and their families have benefited. If they could write many books, they'll tell you. It ain't built by taking a chance. It was built by having a plan. And being disciplined and working that plan. We believe greed is a part of negative lifestyle. Not being satisfied with what you have and trying to risk losing it all to win at great odds. I believe selfishness is motivated by this industry. Not loving thy neighbor, wanting what they have, covetousness. Many have to lose for one to win. Number 5, we believe that it has an impact on crime. Wherever gambling is widespread, I believe, and we've just seen it up to last week Sunday. The fellas that may try to go in there, they try to take the whole truck. No. I dialed with the big boat, you know, but I should say that right there. Say it on Friday. Challenge us on this point. When we talked about the fact that there is a connection. Say, no, they're all talking foolishness. That don't exist. But my goodness, it wasn't 3 days, it was 2 days later.
What's the connection between John Bull and Frank?
I believe we have a question and answer period, so. It increases crime. We believe that people desperate to play who are broke will steal, find any way they can to get some money to participate. We believe, number 6, it harms the economy. Web shops produce no goods or services. The money changes hands within themselves. And therefore, we believe that this particular industry hurts legitimate businesses in our country, because those small mom and pop stores that depend upon those frequent customers are competing, because now people are deciding, well, I'm going to buy bread, I'll buy this or buy that, because I believe I can win. Finally, we believe it dishonors God. I don't care what nobody say. Them fellows who write that Constitution, boy, it was divinely inspired. This nation was built on an abiding respect for Christian values. We are not going to move away from that, because some fellas decide they want their bank. We simply can't. We believe firmly that gambling demonstrates a lack of trust in God, because we switch and exchange our focus towards a game of chance as opposed to God providing for our needs. In conclusion, I believe there are several facts about this whole issue or this whole proposal that's been put to us. I believe historically, I grew up on Wolf Road, and I grew up right on Many Streets, so I wasn't too far from Percy. And right above me was a Haitian fellow who used to be a bookie, and we call him Shorty, and I hope I ain't get no trouble with this camera. That's where I grew up. I knew the numbers all my life, because I was just right in the thick of things. My mother used to play numbers. And I can tell you, I can end with a story with that. But I'll tell you, there's several things about it. Coming up Many Street and living in a little 2-bedroom apartment and being there for 28 years until I was married, I saw a lot of people playing numbers, but I never seen none of them people get ahead from playing numbers. Now, I see that in my own eyes. I can tell you that, yes, we've had this, and yes, the fellas have gotten sophisticated, and they've now morphed this whole thing into the whole industry called web shop gaming or web shops. But they still numbers men. And by the laws of the Bahamas, they are criminals, because they are breaking the law. I make that up. This is about law and order. You cannot build a civil society by letting some break the law and then the others punished. You can't be selective in how you distribute justice in this country.
Absolutely.
I can't pretty a fella up today and ignore 30 years of law breaking just because he figure I get up this morning and I tired of stuffing my money in one house. I ready to now put it in the bank, and I want all of you all to march down there to a pole and help me do it. I cannot do it. I see this about law and order.
Criminal intent.
I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that this whole charade called a non-constitutional referendum that we're going through is simply a desperate attempt by these lawbreakers. They finally wake up one day and say, I don't want to break the law no more. I'm ready to surrender. I will come in now. And to help you all, help me do that. Let me remind you how much money they give y'all. 2.5 million in charities.
Yes, yes.
Let me tell you something.
Of the 400.
If a fella take the proceeds of drugs and buy 50 pews in a church, it still don't make it right. A fella involved in child pornography give $1 million to build a school. We ain't getting there to go open that. No, we don't believe in that. We're better than that. Now, I am not suggesting that these individuals who own these particular businesses are bad people. I'm saying that they pick a bad business to go into. Let me tell you why I don't think they deserve a pass. All of us had to go from the back of the line. Why should they jump the line?
Ouch.
We have to work hard the right way. Nobody forced these guys to go into this business. They decided, I will openly break the law and ain't none of y'all can stop me.
Absolutely.
That's what they said.
My God.
Okay? No police can stop me. No commissioner can stop me. No MP could stop me. I'm going to do it because this is what I feel. Ain't nobody forced them to go into business.
Nobody forced the employees to get.
But the same creativity that they have, because I do believe they are absolutely talented.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's not take that away from them.
No.
When I visit the prison and I speak to some of the men, my goodness, you meet some talented brothers in jail.
Yes, you do.
And I ask, man, we get all this talent, how you get here? You know what that big word comes up? Choices.
Yep.
The final analysis, ladies and gentlemen, is that the web shop bosses, the criminals in our society, they made a choice. Nobody forced them. I understand they have a public relations campaign designed to sanitize their reputation. But pay for it. Let me tell you why. You cannot decide to go into an illegal business and then one morning wake up and ask thousands of Bahamians to help you clean it up. It just can't work. Because we are law and order in this country. And without that, we have a chaotic society built on anarchy. That's why not. No criminal should get a pass. As I close, I told you that story I want to share with you. My mother used to play the numbers. And at 16 years old, it's a true story. One morning, some of you may or may not believe in this whole thing called the supernatural. I had an encounter on my 16th birthday. Myself, my twin brother, he was the one who shot the film on Pendant, and my mom, we had to share one room. You know, we were very small living quarters in those days. And I had an encounter that some would describe as a demonic encounter. My 16th birthday. My brother, who was staying in the other room, my eldest brother, dashed into the room. Cut on the light. And I was bruised, all my arms, because I was levitated, right? My bed. All the bruising was here from the wall. Couldn't figure out really what had happened, and called the brother to the church and said, what do you think that was? And he gave me his best interpretation. A short time after that, as I began to grow in my faith, I felt the Lord said, you know, I think a lot of this particular event in particular has a lot to do with those dream books.
Well.
So I went to my mom. I said, listen, would you have a challenge if we destroyed them? Because I think there's having an impact right now. And a lot of things happening in the family. And particularly with you. You know what the old people used to call hag?
Yeah.
My mom used to be hag.
Got the hag on you.
Every night. You know? My mom used to have a, an experience and used to try to wake up. Alright? And when we took those books and we burned them, 28 years later, my old lady is asleep like a baby now. Couldn't sleep for years. No more. Get rid of them.
Yeah. Take it with them numbers.
Plain numbers. You want to talk about facts has its basis in the practice of numerology. It is the invitation, whether you believe it or not, that opens the door for tremendous hardship on the individual, because you're opening and practicing something most people don't know what they're doing. That's why many who play never get out. That's why they keep coming back every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. And that's why they are addicted. You know why? Because even if they win one big score today, they can never move themselves from where they are to where they truly want to be. And then they see the social ramifications start kicking in. Don't ask me. Call social service and all them people and ask them. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. And don't forget, on the 28th of this month, we see this as a simple opportunity for the Bahamian people to respect law and order in our country, and to reject the question of legalizing or regularizing this industry. I don't think we needed to move ahead. I think we could do quite well without it. And on the other question of a lottery, well, we simply ask the Bahamians on both questions to simply vote no.